Hey everyone, and welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons for another by request song tutorial. Today I'm going to be taking you through a beautiful song by the Melodians. It's their 1970 classic, Rivers of Babylon. But I'm going to be showing you the version that I grew up playing from Sublime's 1992 album, 40 Ounces to Freedom. This song's very beginner friendly, but has a lot of tricks that every beginner should learn. It just has 3 chords, G, C, D, and a very common strumming pattern. And if you're a beginner guitar player and you're in need of some extra resources like my Intro to Guitar ebook, you can head over to patreon.com/swiftlessons where you can find tabs to all the lessons that I produce here on YouTube. Now, let's get started with your lesson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
By the rivers of Babylon, where he sat down, and there he wept when he remembered Zion. Oh, from the wicked carry us away, captivity required from us a song. How can we sing King Alpha's song in this strange land? So let the words of our mouth and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight. Override. By the rivers of Babylon, where he sat down, and there he went when he remembered Zion. Oh, from the wicked carry us away, captivity required from us a song. How can we sing King Alpha's song in this strange land? How can we sing King Alpha's song in this strange land?
Okay, a close look at the fretboard and also my strum in hand. I have a capo here on the 1st fret and I'm in standard tuning. We're going to get started learning the 3 chords that we need for this song. A simple G major chord with our ring finger on the low E string. Okay? For the beginners out there, that's 3rd fret, low E. The middle finger here on the 2nd fret of the A string. And my pinky here on the high E string, 3rd fret. I call this useful G because my pointer finger is still available to throw in a few extra tricks if I should like to. Okay, so that's a G major chord. The other chord that we're going to need is D major. Okay, peace sign to the triangle. My pointer finger is on the 2nd fret of the G string. My middle finger, 2nd fret, high E string. Okay, and then my ring finger is going to go in between on the B string, but on the 3rd fret. Making sure to bend that ring finger as much as possible. All right, which is a little bit of a task. A lot of beginners have trouble clearing that high E string, but remember, you got to basically move the thumb around and try to flex those fingers as much as possible. Sometimes bringing the thumb and wrapping it around helps you get a little bit more of an arch on those fingers. Okay, D major chord. Occasionally we're going to add our pinky to the 3rd fret of the high E string just to throw in a little bit of a melodic trick. Very important trick for all beginner guitar players. All right, one last chord, the C major. Okay, that's the 3rd fret of the A string, middle finger 2nd fret of the D string, and the pointer finger 1st fret of the B string, of course all relative to the capo. I'm strumming from the A string down. Alright, so for those 3 chords, the G chord gets all the strings, the D chord goes from the D string down, and that C chord from the A string down. And that's all you're going to need for this tune. Okay, fantastic. You have those 3 basic chords down. Now we're ready to jump into learning the scale that we're going to be using in the intro section. So occasionally guitar players that are kind of at like a intermediate level will throw in a little bit of lead guitar technique into their rhythm guitar. Sometimes strumming a few chords and throw in a little lick like that. Okay? So the scale that Bradley's using to throw in his licks is coming from the G major pentatonic scale. So we got to get this down. It's very easy. Sounds like this. Okay, starting from the low E string, 3rd fret, open A, 2nd fret of the A string, open D, 2nd fret, open G, 2nd fret, open B, 3rd fret, and open E, and 3rd fret. So when you start from G, that is the G major pentatonic scale. Perfect for putting in a little bit of lead guitar into your rhythm when playing in the key of G. Okay, so fantastic. You have the basic chords G, C, D. You have the basic scale, the major pentatonic. All right, we're almost done with our prerequisites here. Now we got to get down the basic rhythm for this song. It's called the pop strumming pattern, and it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I just performed 2 different versions of one pattern. The basic pattern is just down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. And it's very good to practice counting as you do that. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Notice that you're not strumming on the 3rd beat. Now, occasionally you might want to separate out the bass notes from the treble notes. So I like to start off with a bass note. Bass, down, up, down, up. Bass, down, up, down, up. Sometimes just hitting 1 string. Sometimes E string, A string, and D string. And my upstrokes are very light, just hitting the high strings. It's a very, very important technique for beginners because it's going to make your strumming sound much more professional. Okay, now you might want to use a pick for this. Some players might like the sound of using just the fingertips and the nail to get a more mellow sound. To do that, I would recommend playing the root note with the thumb, a downstroke with the nail on the pointer finger, and then the upstrokes with the pad of the pointer finger. I've also seen some players use all of their fingers like this. Okay, for a very nice sound there. Okay, so using a pick or using your fingers, both very good options. Okay, fantastic. You have that prerequisite information down. You've got some basic chords, the scale, and also your strumming pattern. Now let's jump into the intro section. It's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so breaking that down, your first part sounds like this. Okay, so that was 3-3 on the low E string, 2-2 on the A, 3, then begin your pop strumming pattern, making sure that the first strum is just on the low strings. Down, down, up, down, up, then hit the bass note again. All right, let's practice that. Okay, then you're going to repeat that same exact thing verbatim. down, up, down, up, bass. Okay, now looking down on the second line of tablatures on your chord sheet, this part is going to sound like this. A slightly different riff. D major chord. Okay, so there I had A string, 2nd fret, 2-2. All right, 3-3, 2. Then take your D major chord and do a pop strumming pattern. Down, down, up, down, up. But on the second upstroke, down, down, up. Put your pinky on the 3rd fret, high E string, to do exactly what Brad did. Then you need to remove it the second you're hitting that downstroke. So down, down, up. Take the pinky off, down, up. All right, let's try that whole thing. Down, down, up, down, up. All right, perfect. Okay, then we have the final part. It's gonna sound like this. Okay, so that began with the open D string, 2nd fret, and then the open G, using that major pentatonic scale in G. Then we're gonna do a hammer-on. Same exact notes, but we start off with the hammer, open D, and we slam our finger down. Very easy technique. And then hit that open G. So far you have. All right, we need to do the same thing, but now on the A string to the D string. So that was 0-2 on the A with the hammer on, and then the open D. All right, back to the beginning of that part. Then we're gonna go right to a G major chord for the pop strumming pattern, starting on the low notes. Then a nice short strum, just like that, as we begin singing. Okay, now let's see if we can perform that entire intro from beginning to end at a slower tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Down, down, up, down, up, bass. Down, down, up, down, up, bass. D. Okay, that may take several tries, but once you've got it down, you're ready to move into the verse sections. Okay, jumping into verse number 1, very simple. We're gonna begin with the G major chord. We're gonna need 4 measures there. By the rivers of Babylon, 2, where he sat, 3, 4, and where he. Then we go to the D major chord, 2 rounds. When Then we're back to the G chord for 2 measures or 2 rounds of the pattern. Zion. Okay, on that second measure there, we're going to sing, oh, from the wicked, and the G chord continues. Carry us away, captivity. You got that right, 2 measures there. Then we're going to the C major chord for just 1. Require from us this. And we're back to the G chord now for 3 measures where we sing. Song, how can we sing King Alpha's song in this? 1 measure over the D chord, strange land. Then 2 measures of the G major chord with that pop strumming pattern finishes up the verse. Okay, fantastic everybody. You had the intro down, the first verse. Now you're moving into what is really the last section that you need to learn, verse number 2. Because after this section, we're just going to repeat the intro, then repeat verse number 1 as verse number 3. So this is basically the song. This section is very simple, just back and forth between G and D, 1 measure apiece. So let the words of our mouth and meditation of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight. Then pause, override. All right, just like that. Then we repeat the intro again. So just strumming down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. One more time. And then the D chord, a slow strum, then the G chord, and then you're back into the intro. Now, one little thing that you can throw in to make this part a little bit more exciting is a percussive hit. Okay, and if you haven't done this before, that's when we strike through the strings and make a little kind of snare drum sound. So that would sound like this. So let the words of our mouth and meditation of our hearts acceptable in thy sight override, so on and so forth. So that was down, chuck, up, chuck, up. Okay? If you've never done this percussive hit before, it takes some time to get down. Basically, you need to lay off the strings. See that? How I'm clobbering the strings here? I'm covering them up with the index finger and not squeezing. Then I follow through with the pick and a little bit of my palm. Then I need to reactivate the chord as I go to the upstroke. Down, chuck, up, chuck, up is that special pattern, the pop strumming pattern with the percussive element. Okay, so let's give that another try over the G chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Words of our mouth and meditation of our heart. Sounds great. Acceptable in thy sight. Continue on. I like to do a little stop before I jump back into the intro. So after that, we're going to repeat verse number 1, basically just repeating the very last tail end. How can we sing King Alpha's song in this strange land with a retardando? That means slow down at the end to finish up the tune. That would sound like this. How can we sing King Alpha's song in this strange land? Then no guitar. How can we sing King Alpha's song in this retardando strange land? Is a great way to end the tune. Alright, congrats everybody, you have a fantastic new song in your back pocket. Now, see if you can apply some of the tricks that you learned today to the other beginner-friendly songs that I've taught on this channel. You can click through the link right here to access the playlist of all my beginner-friendly tunes. Thanks so much to my supporters at patreon.com/swiftlessons. Hope you're enjoying the tabs, chord sheets, and other resources. I got many more videos coming up, so keep checking back. Please subscribe, please share. This is Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia, saying happy picking.